Hello, hello, and a really, really warm welcome to this short webinar on creating healthy, happy relationships. And it's quite a miracle actually that I've just actually got back from the hospital visiting my mother. She's just actually had a heart attack and is waiting to have a stent fitted. And now I'm the main carer for my father with Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, the reason I bring that up is because my story began with a hugely, hugely destructive relationship with my mother. So it's amazing that I am now really, as she said this afternoon, the apple of her eye. I'm the main caregiver for both of my parents, so I'm very, very fortunate to the traffic was kind to me, and I'm back and I'm here and I'm ready to go. I've had lots of messages from people who can't make it today because they're either working or they're actually there's a few people who are sleeping. They're over the other side of the world. So don't worry if you're watching on the webinar, on the replay, a very, very warm welcome. So I just want to check and do a couple of sound checks. If you can see me and if you can hear me, that would be fantastic. If you could let me know in the chat box, just so I'm really clear to everybody. So why are you here? Let's just go and dive straight in. Why are you here? Sorry, I'm going to. Everybody should be mute. I'm just going to. There we go. Fantastic. So why are you here? Why are you here at all? Probably because you've had a breakdown of some sort in your relationship, and that might be with your husband, your partner, your parents, your children, your friends, your work colleagues, or perhaps you just feel completely disconnected with yourself. One of the biggest things is breakdown in communication. You might be constantly arguing, you feel totally disconnected. Perhaps you just do nothing together with your partner. Sex is a complete distant memory. You're beginning perhaps not even to like each other anymore, and perhaps wonder why you're even together. Well, you're in the right place, because I have suffered severely destructive relationships, but I have also been married for just over 30 years. So I've been at either ends of the spectrum. So who am I? Well, my name is Louise Armstrong, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a mother to 3 grown-up kids. They're all in their late 20s now. And I've been married to Ian for just over 30 years. We've been together for 34 years. And my story all started with a very, very destructive relationship with my mother. And this is a really, really important relationship because it molds every relationship you will ever form in your life. It's really complicated. It's very intricate. And this relationship must be healed if we want to create those happy, healthy relationships that we all so crave. And it doesn't matter who it's with, whether it's with your partner, husband, friends, work colleagues, it really doesn't matter. It all starts with the self, and one of the big relationships we form when we're very small is a relationship with the mother. So I have had a terrible relationship with my mother for so many years, and I didn't start my healing journey till I was well into my 40s. And since I did embark on that journey, the transformations have been so incredible. I was invited to train as a coach myself. I did that, and then I went on to psychotherapy. I'm a big WRT specialist. I'm trained in CBT, and I'm an NLP coach as well. So for all intents and purposes, I've just got qualifications really that enable me to help people on a professional basis. And I ran an extremely busy practice in Dubai for many years, helping hundreds and hundreds of couples and individuals heal their relationships, because I truly believe it is the most amazing thing in life to be at peace with yourself and create connections with those people who are important to you. Now, relationships are a bit like a roller coaster. There's always going to be ups and downs, and that's totally normal. But we need help when we can't get back up again from the down, when that roller coaster stays in that dip for too long. And in my busy practice, helping couples and individuals, I've witnessed so many people on their second, their third, and their fourth marriage, different countries, different jobs, different partners. Everything looks different in the physical world, identical behaviors. So it's this that we have to heal, or we will go on and do exactly the same thing again, although we perhaps don't think we're doing it. We are. So there are three components to a relationship. There's you, there's him or the other person, and there is the relationship. And all three parts need to change in order for this relationship to transform. And in any relationship, both parties need to be willing. Now, don't despair if your other half doesn't think anything needs to change, or doesn't care, or thinks it's all about you, or everything else in the world. Don't despair, because I have helped hundreds of people where generally, as a general rule, it's been the woman who's come to me first, made so many changes in her life. She shows up differently, her energies towards her partner, and then a few months later the husband has come along behind. And actually it was about 5 years ago I had more men on my books than women, and I used to call myself a women's coach, which was bizarre why a man would come. So don't despair. By you changing yourself, you will naturally change that relationship. But I just want so you to understand there really are three things that will change, and by you changing, you actually change the reaction to the person you are with. And in a moment I'm going to share with you the biggest issues that people have when a relationship breaks down. And I've kind of chosen the most common ones that have come to light with all my work in Dubai. And I also do a lot of research around relationships because, as I say, I've been through the most destructive ones, feeling intense shame and guilt and frustration and pure anger and a lot of hatred at, some point in my, many years ago. But I've also learned how to heal this and really develop the most incredible marriage and a relationship with my children and friends and my business colleagues and my clients as well, the people who are important to me in my life. And so I believe this is something we all crave. I really, really do. So falling in love is relatively easy. Well, it is easy. It's lovely. And it's something you actually do subconsciously. And this is what creates the chemistry between the two of you. And statistics, if we want to believe in them, they say that it can last up to 2 years. So it is quite a finite period. Some people it's a few months, but they say it can last up to 2 years. And after this initial period, the conscious mind kicks in and we begin to see things very, very differently. But it doesn't look like that in the physical. The physical world's exactly the same. Your partner's exactly the same, but you actually see them differently. You actually don't like the fact that he leaves his washing everywhere. He doesn't clear up or load the dishwasher. Perhaps he's put on a few pounds and you don't fancy him so much. Whatever it is, you didn't notice any of these things when you were falling in love. And now you do. It's irritating and you've become so much more aware. This is because your conscious mind has kicked in. And now it's the time really to focus on your communication. It's absolutely key. And I'd really love you to stay to the end of this webinar because I've got something really special for you that's going to help you love yourself even more and create better and healthier relationships. If you take one thing away from this webinar, let it be this: stop trying to change your partner. Stop trying to change that person in your life. We all do this because we want someone to respond to us differently, act differently, be different. And it's absolutely impossible to change anyone. Think right now, who are you trying to change in your life? Do you think they should speak to you in a different manner, do something differently, show up differently, whatever it is? Are you wanting them to be different? Can't change them. Sorry, I'm not sure why these... I'm just going to put that on mute there as well. That's great. Welcome, Z, as well. And Adele, lovely to have you with us. So if you don't take anything else, take that one thing, because that will change your relationships. If you learn to meet that person where they are and you be the change. I could talk for absolutely days on relationships. Honestly, I've studied so much, I've lived them, I've helped so many hundreds and hundreds of people. I've got to really try and condense this and keep on track. Hence, I have a few notes here. So, breakdown in communication. Becoming friends again is the absolute basis for all your relationships. If you feel your relationship is really broken down, you want to focus on being friends, because it's what we build on top of that that will actually really help this relationship to last and to grow and to go so much deeper. So bear this in mind as you start to rebuild this relationship. So I want you to ask yourself some questions right now. Are you in some way trying to change him, wanting him to say or do something as you think it's for the best? We need to meet someone where they are to effectively communicate. Notice the emotion that's triggered inside of you. He cannot make you angry. What's happened is he's triggered that anger inside of you. So when you heal that anger, you show up differently. Take a look at, are you globalizing your comments? Do you say things like, you never do anything around the house, you'll never hear from me, you never say you love me? Is that true? You want to get really detailed, really, really detailed, because the more detailed you get, the better response you're going to get. Are you asking with expectation? Are you always expecting him to reply or act in a certain way? This can lead you to controlling the situation. Are you trying to control what is going on? So these are some questions that are really important so you can really understand where you are. This is your basis that you're going to build on. Are you putting on a mask, trying to be somebody you're not? Are you hiding your true feelings? Are you scared of him finding out the real you? Maybe this person's been hidden away for years, and maybe you don't even know the real you is anymore. Wow, that was me. I hadn't got a clue who I was. I really hadn't. I had so many masks, and it's so common. Are you really afraid to say what you mean for fear of rejection? You're being ridiculed or ignored or put down again and again and again. Are you being authentic? And an example of having a row, I'm going to give you an example of having a row with someone. Understand that it's your energy during that argument that is your most powerful form of communication. It's not what you say, it's not what you do, it's how you feel. So bear that one in mind. Notice how you feel towards your partner, your other half, your husband. Notice how you feel. For example, if you've had an argument in the morning and you just brush it aside, and you come home in the evening and you say, hi, had a good day. So you said the right thing. You give him a hug. You've done the right thing. Nothing there. But if you feel frustrated and annoyed, that's the message he gets. And this works with kids. This works with every relationship. I'm just focusing on a husband at the moment. So bear that in mind. Everyone is going to pick up your deepest form of communication, how you feel. Very, very important when you start healing that relationship. Agree with any truth. So take a breath, perhaps take a step back and listen. Listen. That's why we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen. Is he saying anything that rings true to you? Agree with it. Only ever agree with the truths. Take the focus away from him. Ask yourself, what's triggered inside of me? Because you can heal this. As long as you try to control him, you're going to get hugely frustrated because you're going to fail. And every single time you fail, you're going to eat away at a little bit of your soul. Start using the word I when you want things doing. Be very, very specific in your language. I would like more help around the house. I would like you to empty the dishwasher after dinner. Not, please, could you do the dishwasher, or can you do the dishwasher, or it's your turn to do the dishwasher. Start with the word I. Nobody wants to be told what to do. If no one is organising or doing any change in your household or your relationship, you be the organiser. You take control. You be the change. You start the process. Don't wait for anyone else to do it. You do it. Take action. For example, I'd love us to go to the cinema this Saturday evening. Is there something you'd like to watch? You may well get a no, but you're putting it out there. You're sowing the seeds. Always remember, if you get no response, notice how you feel when you're delivering this information. It's all about how you feel. And lastly, on this little topic, your partner is only ever going to be as good as you see him. So if you see him as just all right, that's what he's going to be. If you see him as amazing, that's what he's going to be in your mind. So start visualizing in your mind how you would like your partner to be. Now, the next question that comes up most frequently is, how do I keep our marriage alive? Because things do get boring, things do get stale, you know, you do the same old same, and a lot of the conversations, you know, when people have kids or around the kids, etc. So it does, you know, it can get boring. So we've got to keep that alive. Stay friends. As I've said before, the friendship is absolutely key. Work out what makes you a best friend. What have you got to give that relationship? So really putting the focus back on you. Start expecting and needing from your partner. You won't be disappointed if you don't expect them to show up or behave in a certain way. And you might be pleasantly surprised when you stop coming from this place of need. And this actually often comes from childhood. Start enjoying shared goals together. Perhaps it's just something like decorating the house or doing the garden or planning a holiday. Do things together. Have a project that you do together. Do something fresh, brand new. Do something fresh, completely brand new in your relationship. Try a new exercise, volunteer at a local group. Just do something different. Now, this might sound a bit bizarre to you, but it works. And I've had a lot of my married life apart because my husband works away from home. And so time when we're together is really important. So schedule sex into your life. It might sound mechanical, but at least it keeps that connection between the two of you. At least you are addressing the fact that you haven't got the time, you're too tired. So start booking a night in that you're going to have sex. Talk. Communication is the foundation of any relationship. So make the absolute effort, even if you can't be bothered, and start really small, really, really small. The smaller you start, the better. Laugh more. What makes you laugh? What makes you tick? We do not laugh enough. I mean, kids teach us this. They laugh 10 times more than we do. Laugh. Even if that's working out yourself, what makes you laugh? Because this really does glue that relationship together. Start taking risks. Start exposing parts of you that make you feel vulnerable. And it's the vulnerability that you expose that deepens that relationship, and it gives permission to your partner that they can also be vulnerable. Apologize when you make a mistake. As hard as it is, if you apologize when you make a mistake, you not only give the person permission to do that for themselves, but you actually will move on much, much more quickly when you say, hey, I'm really sorry, this was my fault. You know, swallow that pride, get your ego out of the way. In a marriage, we don't have, in any relationship, we don't have a win situation. You're not out to win against your partner. So if you've made a mistake, apologize. Remember that you are an individual. And I want you to look at it like you're adding to the relationship. You're not in that relationship like I think was once thought, like a jigsaw puzzle. So you're looking for someone who is going to fulfill that part of you that you feel you haven't got. You are looking to give to that relationship. So you feel whole, fulfilled, complete yourself. So it's a bit like two whole people coming together. as opposed to two incomplete people coming together. So you stop taking from your partner, and when you stop taking from him, you can give so much more. Now, if your relationship, this is one of the third question really that comes up, people say, my relationship feels so disconnected, and that might be with yourself, and that might be with your partner. The most important question, if it is with your partner, is to ask, am I connected to myself? Because it's absolutely fundamental to work on the self before you even work on the relationship. And you know, we're all struggling some way. And if you perhaps think that your friends have got a great relationship, everybody else seems to be doing well, you read about it, social media tells you this, that, and the other, you have no idea. You really, really do not know what is going on. So even if your friends appear to be on top of the world, they could well be suffering inside. Wealthy people might seem to absolutely have it all, only to seem and feel and be desperately unhappy in closed doors. I helped a lot of extremely wealthy people in Dubai who were desperately unhappy. So the money that they had achieved through enormous success gave them a lot of comforts, it gave them a lot of choice, but it did not give them that connection with the most important people in their life. In fact, it destroyed a lot of those relationships. So bear this in mind and notice how you see others. You don't know what mask they're wearing and what they're hiding. So come away from either feeling you're being judged or judging them. Attraction actually isn't what you think. Seriously, there's no such thing as a perfect partner. So if you're looking right now, just stop. You aren't perfect, and neither is anyone else. So it's only when two imperfect people come together, if you like, that we actually complement each other. And this took me years to work out until I really let go of needing to be perfect, and it is absolutely unachievable. So if you're on your own right now and you really are seeking a partner, you need to, it's a good idea to actually write it down and get really clear on what's important to you. What's important to you in a relationship? You know, what are your own values? What is important to you? Because you will not find the perfect partner out there. But I do believe there's a soulmate for all of us out there. Absolutely all of us. It doesn't matter how old you are either. And just as a little reminder here, and this does happen, absolutely, in years and years and years of couples counselling, all the couples I've helped do not stay together. And that is because it isn't the right thing for them. It is not the right thing for them. So however hard you try, sometimes the relationship will never work. And sometimes it is the right thing to part ways. But once you've healed yourself and you feel whole and complete, and the relationship is at peace and you're grounded yourself, and you have tried with that relationship, you will leave with much less guilt. You will leave much stronger, and you will leave a lot more confident. So sometimes in the beginning, when we're healing relationships, we don't know which way it's going to go, but we do know that you are going to feel better about yourself. Holding a grudge. Hands up. How many times have you held a grudge? Resentment only ever hurts you and not the other person. So think about that. It's a bit like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That's what I was told when I held a grudge towards my mother. So make a decision to choose to let these grudges go. Choose to release them. They're only thoughts, and these fears are really not going to help in your relationship. So write them out. Get them all out of you until you start feeling better. Forgiveness for yourself is the one thing that's going to bring you peace. You don't always have to forgive the other person or forgive what they have done, but you must come to a place of acceptance. And acceptance means you stop trying to change the situation or what's happened. Choose to stay calm and let the pain go. And even if you don't feel that way, voice it. And there are lots of ways of staying calm through deep breathing, through meditation, through hypnosis. There are many, many ways that we can stay calm through creating calm pictures in your mind, because once you're calm, you will see the situation very differently. Time alone is absolutely key for us all. You can be yourself without any pressure or any deadlines. And so in any relationship, always, always, always have time for yourself. So ask yourself now, do I have time alone just for me to do what I really want to do? Now, with all the research that I've been doing over the years, I discovered that there are some questions to ask ourselves how happy we really are in our relationship. And this really will either help you to understand that the relationship is seriously not working and perhaps you do part ways, or it'll take the relationship you have to a much, much deeper level. And I've asked these many, many times myself. Am I happy most of the time? Because you're not going to be happy all of the time. So all of us have struggles in relationships, and it's true to say that some challenges make, relationships really, really strong. As I say, I'm going through a lot of struggles with myself right now, with my mother ill in hospital, just suffered a heart attack, with my caring for my father, with my husband. Ian and I are caring for him together to keep him at home. He has severe dementia and Alzheimer's. And so this is actually what brings us together. It's not those joyous times and those successful times. It's actually working through the challenges and the struggles. And there's always going to be down times, but it's when the down times take over, when the down times become far greater than your happiness most of the time. So ask yourself, am I happy most of the time? Second question to ask yourself, is this relationship bringing out the best in me? And a question few of us ask ourselves, and we're not even quite sure perhaps how to answer that, but it's absolutely imperative to ask yourself if your partner is encouraging you to be the best version of yourself, or do they constantly pull you down? Are your needs being met? Are you creating your dreams? Does your partner bring out the negative emotions constantly inside of you? Find a quiet space, go inside, and just be honest with what you find. Am I making time for him or her? Equally, is he or she making time for you? We're all on a roller coaster ride, and life gets super busy, and we can put our relationships on the back burner. However hectic your life is, you need to make time for each other. You really do. Even if it's 20 minutes quality time, you just speak to that person. That's something I do. I have 20 minutes and I just focus on Ian. No phones, no distraction, no cooking, nothing. Just focus on Ian. And sometimes that's all we need. Have you got some shared dreams together? If your relationship is heading in a similar direction, you've got shared goals and shared dreams. All couples should have shared dreams and shared goals. We're just actually materializing one of ours, is building our own home together. And it's been a shared dream for many, many, many years. And it's been we've faced massive challenges, but it's been something that we're in together. It's not saying that it's all been smooth and we all agree. There's a lot of things we don't agree on, but it's a wonderful shared dream. So always have a shared dream. Do I have regrets is another question. Here I'm not talking about the past, but I'm actually talking about the future. How will you feel if you're still in the same place in a year's time when nothing's changed? Will you have wished you'd done something about yourself? Will you have wished you'd moved on? Living with regrets is by far going to hurt you emotionally more than anything else. So ask yourself today if you can make these changes, and if not, perhaps it's a better decision, to do something right now. So don't live regret for the future. If you really don't want to be in the same place in a year's time, take action now. Great one, this. How often do I laugh? I laugh so much more these days, even with, facing massive challenges. I really do. Laughter is honestly key in all relationships. And my kids have said, this is the glue that really sticks relationships together. So are you laughing more than you're arguing? Be very honest and ask yourself, how many times a week do you laugh together? Over how many times a week do you argue? And it might be a real eye-opener for you. Relationships are not supposed to be a hassle in life and drag you down. They're actually supposed to uplift you and make you feel good. Ask yourself, what sacrifices am I making right now? Are you feeling that you're being taken advantage of or being used? is the relationship being more like a burden than a pleasure? Are you constantly giving and receiving nothing or getting very little back? Healthy relationships are about give and take. Remember the 3 components. And are you giving way too much and just getting nothing back? It seriously needs addressing. Now the question, am I in love with who I want them to be? So many of us do this. And are you simply wanting that person to change to be the sort of person you really want them to be? We convince ourselves that one day they're going to change and actually be that person if we wait long enough or if we try hard enough. But unless that person really wants to make the changes themselves, nothing's going to change. So be honest and tell yourself the truth. Sometimes the truth really, really hurts, but at least you're being honest for both of your sakes. Do they add meaning to your life? What is it life like without them? Are you happier by yourself? Does your partner make your life more colourful, richer? Are you left feeling fulfilled, or are you left depleted and completely zapped of energy? Would I be better off alone? Now, this is the hardest question of all, because none of us wants this when we go into a relationship. And it might be one that may not seem at all clear, but one that does really need answering. Now that you've faced some realities with the above questions, perhaps the time has come to make a decision to be by yourself, or to seek out a trusted friend or a coach or a counsellor to guide you through, which will probably be one of the most important decisions of your life. So you don't have to be alone. You really don't. Because ask yourself right now, what am I waiting for? What changes am I waiting to happen? You be the change. Every relationship requires hard work and patience, and it all starts with you. We all have tough times. We've all got times of absolute despair. It's a normal part of life. But it's during these times we really need to look at ourselves. We really do. We need to take the time out. We need to pamper ourselves, nurture ourselves, and ultimately make sure we're doing the best that we can. So I hope the above questions have really stirred something inside of you, because they're supposed to. Because once you start taking action, start doing something, even if you're terrified, the fear's never going to go. The fear is never going to go, but we learn to take those small baby steps to take that action, so you are the change. Another big one, you're constantly feeling hurt and let down. Well, here it is. It's not about you. Don't take comments or arguments personally. Perhaps you now feel so insecure at all these scathing remarks. You think the whole world is now against you, but in reality, it's the other person who actually feels really insecure, which is why they judge, act coldly, lash out. They're really doing that to protect themselves. They're doing that because they've got perhaps a great deep unhappiness inside of them. And so you know yourself, if you feel angry or sad or frustrated, it's really hard for you to be positive and happy towards people around you. So stop making it about you. So to make a change, don't blame them or react or give your opinion. Simply acknowledge that you accept it's their opinion and leave it at that. You're not taking on their negativity, and you don't have to value their opinion in any way. It's just a choice of acceptance, because it really is about them. When you're constantly being let down, judged or hurt and put down, you do have a choice. You really do. Perhaps it's time to really look at that relationship and why you're in it. Perhaps you're in a relationship that you can't leave, in which case you need to be able to look after yourself. So perhaps you see the relationship in a different way. The person is acting defensively for himself, so it's about them. And it's only because they've been continually hurt themselves that they are actually reacting like this. And it isn't about you at all. So don't take it personally, and you won't get hurt. I use this word acceptance a lot. Accept the situation. Accept the situation. So perhaps you've been trying for years to bridge the gap between what you want and what you have, and it's not working. So you feel so unhappy. Accepting that you are part of a miserable relationship, even when you don't understand it, and you so want that loving relationship. I hear this so many times, that loving relationship that your friend has. It's going to allow you to really let go of this wanting and this needing, because there are many things within relationships that we will never understand. And sometimes we need to accept that's the way it is. But we get to choose how we feel. And it's from this place that you can start to live your life differently, because you do have a choice. If you choose not to have a relationship with your husband anymore, it's absolutely fine to do that. You do not have to stay if the relationship's too painful. Make the decision because it's the right thing for you, not because someone else tells you to do it. So you be the change. You be the change. Just because your husband is perhaps a living nightmare, you don't have to be part of this. You can make some changes within yourself. Decide what sort of person you want to be with and react in a way you want to react. It could also be time for you to learn and grow from these negative situations and see the situation from a new perspective. And to see the situation from a new perspective, you need to change how you see yourself. So if you're constantly angry and frustrated and let down, you need to heal that inside of you. Once that is healed inside of you, you show up differently, you react differently. You're actually able to stand in that other person's shoes without your own stuff going on. You get a much different view from the situation. If you do decide to leave, the best thing, and it's the best thing for you, don't take with you the anger and the regret, because anger and regret leads to guilt. So leave the relationship on the grounds that it isn't working, on those grounds alone, because you value and love yourself more than the relationship is worth. So you don't leave any negativity in your mind to haunt you. This is healing. This is about protecting you, looking after your needs. Right, there's just a few things there, and I've just taken just over half an hour because I didn't want this to be a very long, in-depth webinar. I was just giving you a taste, and I really hope you've got some pointers there, things for you to focus on, how you can create a better relationship with yourself, which ultimately will create healthier, better connections with those important people in your life. Relationships are truly so complicated, and we're all so unique. There's no one cookie cutter that fits one relationship or one person. And through hundreds of people I've helped, there's been no identical couple or person that was exactly the same, because we're all absolutely unique. But know that you can change anything that you choose to. The mind is totally malleable, which means anything can be changed. Any thoughts, any behavioral pattern, any program can be changed. So I'd like to offer something really special for you, and it's a safe and comfortable place for you to learn, for you to grow and transform all of your relationships. And this is to invite you into a private Facebook group with like-minded, incredible women just like you and me. So imagine waking up feeling at peace within yourself, looking forward to actually being with your partner, feeling connected and grounded to yourself, and really starting that connection with that partner, with that special person in your life, and actually enjoying life and working towards goals, working towards your own goals and working towards goals together, where you can actually start your journey right now. You can come and join our private Facebook group that's called the Emotional Intelligence Mastery. And it's got a very low cost here of £4.99 a month. £4.99 a month, and that's just a few pence. I think it's around 30 odd pence a day. Actually, no, it's around 16 pence a day. I'm not a mathematician, although my kids are. And guess what? If after a month you don't like it in our group and it's not what you thought, you can leave and I will refund every penny of your £4.99. So you've got nothing to lose. You really haven't. So this group is for anyone struggling in a relationship, going through a divorce. Perhaps you're on your own, you're wanting a new relationship, or for any woman wanting to deepen the relationship they already have. So do you really want to heal? Do you really want to make a difference in your life? Do you really want to take action? Because I promise you, nothing's going to change unless you do. So what you get when you join our special group, you get to become part of our community of like-minded women, all supporting each other to create new perspectives of ourselves. You get daily support for any struggles so that you never stay in confusion or overwhelm. You get fortnightly live Q&A, and this is an opportunity for you to ask anything at all with me on live, or you can ask anything any time of the day or night, 24/7, you know, that you really want help and support with. You will also get live healings every month, and that will be with BWRT, brain working recursive therapy, and also you'll also get hypnosis as well. You will also be gifted my 84-day inspirational book, which is called How to Be Amazing in Your Life. So that will be my gift to you as you start your journey with us. So I'm only offering this to the first few people at this a very low price of £4.99. You've got nothing to lose, because I'll give it all back to you if the group isn't for you. But it is a group where you are going to learn, where you are going to be able to express your struggles and share your wins. It's a very safe place. We've got some amazing women in there, and some of the women who are in our group, I've already said they want to stay in this group forever and ever, because it is such a supportive, wonderful space. And so there's going to be a lot going on. There's going to be posts, there's going to be advice, there's live healings, there's hypnosis recordings, and there's a chance to ask questions on the live webinar every week. So that brings me to the end. If you would like to come and join our Facebook group, all you have to do is PM me in the chat box below, or go on to my website, www.louise-armstrong.com, and you can find my Facebook group on there, and you just click on the link there. You can also private message me on Messenger, on Facebook, and you can email me at louisearmstrong001@gmail.com. So there's lots of ways that you can PM me, message me, email me to join the group. If anyone wants a free chat, I'm always very, very welcome, very happy to have a chat with you, just to see what's best for you, really. We will all, and that's it. That really is it. That brings me to the end of this webinar on healing the relationships, you know, with those important people in your life. That really does start with the self. So unless anyone has got any questions, I'm going to love and leave you. You can always message me anytime, and I always get back to anybody individually. Remember never to stay in overwhelm or confusion, because you will stay stuck and you will not move on in your life. And the number one to take from this webinar is to stop trying to change the other person in your life. Really, really notice what you're trying to do. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me today. I wish you a fantastic day, a wonderful evening, wherever you are in this beautiful world. And thank you so much for joining us as well on the replay. Much love, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.